Hi guys, Yuri here again. It is time for a big update video on Poke Beach. And there's some really exciting stuff to talk about today. A lot of exciting stuff, mainly in these two posts. You can already get excited for that. But before we do that, we're gonna take a look at Super Electric Breaker that has been released in Japan. That's of course the second half of our set being Surging Sparks. So there has been some prices on the top cards there. And I mean, it depends on which source you look at. I'm just gonna look at the collector app here that I use on both my phone and my laptop here. Some people were apparently surprised that the Jasmine's Gaze is not the most expensive card, not the most valuable card in the set right now. And I'm not really surprised. I'm gonna explain why. But one of the things is because Pikachu is in it with an SIR. It's a given. Why? If the Pikachu has an SIR in this, and it's on the front of the box, in front of the, like on the pack arts, like it makes sense to me why Pikachu would be the top chase in this set. Even though some people don't like the art, some people do. I like it, but I could have done better, I think. I like the grass, the way Pikachu is positioned, the way his eyes are rainbowy and such, the sparkles, I like it all. But I think for my taste, it is a little bit too blown out. I think they could have done better if they would have continued the landscape right here into some trees, hills, mountains with some other Pokemon maybe in there. But maybe that is difficult to do with this terrestrial effects on it. And I'm not gonna judge it too much, because there's a reason this card goes for $189 right now on the collector app. So yeah, that's that. But I'm pleasantly surprised with the Hydreigon being the second most valuable card in the set. That is huge. That is my favorite card of the entire set. And it's right now $75, around that price. Love the card. Love that card. I actually kind of thought that maybe the Milotic would be higher than the Hydreigon. It's not. And I like it. I mean, I love the Milotic as well. Actually, it's $52. I love the art on this too. Of course, it's not really complementary with the Feebas illustration rare, but I think it might actually be a diagonal complementary art. If it is, I'm not exactly sure, but I think when you place them over, on top of one another, they don't really fit exactly, but you know that they're in the same area, right? Let me take the Feebas here. Yeah, so that's the Feebas. Yeah, I don't know. I would have to look it up more closely, but you see they're in the same area basically. So that's that. I like both of them. But of course you had the Jasmine here as a third most valuable card. And I love the art. A lot of people love the art. I do too. But I think they kind of missed the ball with this one for one specific reason. And that is because they did not include a Pokemon. Sorry, they did not include a Pokemon in the art. Specifically, I think the Ampharos. Why the Ampharos? Because in Japan apparently there has been some stuff released, like some sleeves, some decks with Jasmine on it, but together with the Ampharos. If you don't know why the Ampharos is like her thing, it's all with the Johto region and the lighthouse where the Ampharos is at, of course. But yeah, imagine they would have included the Ampharos on her right side, maybe joining her with something to eat. That could have competed for the first place. Actually, I think I would have liked that even more than the Lysia SIR from Paradise Dragona. But hey, they did not. I still like the art. It would have risen this card to a whole nother level, I think, if they would have done that. Then we have the gold Pikachu. This one is very bright. It's $60 right now, something like that. Which is a lot for a gold card. But then we got Night Stretcher, that's $59. That's a lot too, but this is a playable card. It reminds me a little bit of the Shrouded Fable gold card of Earthen Vessel. But I think this will not hold its value as good as Earthen Vessel, probably, I don't know. But yeah, those are some of the top cards in Supercharged Breaker. And we'll probably also some of the top cards in Surging Sparks that releases in a couple of weeks. But enough, guys, about Surging Sparks. Let's talk about Prismatic Evolution. And you saw the title. Is Prismatic Evolution going to be better as a set than 151? Truth is, we don't know yet. But my guess is yes. I think it will be. We're going to talk over both parts of Prismatic Evolution, because Prismatic Evolution will consist of the Japanese set Terrestrial Festival and the EX Starter Dex Generations. Those combined will be Prismatic Evolution, apparently. And let's first talk about the Terrestrial Festival, because the first reveal is here from one of the cards, and it's the Eevee EX, the regular EX. I assume there's going to be an SIR for Eevee, as it is the mascot of the set, and this kind of makes me think that this is some kind of counterpart to Pikachu. Not really in the competitive game, whatever, but just to me it gives vibes like in Pokemon Yellow you had the Pikachu as the starter and your rival had the Eevee as its starter. Then you had Let's Go Pikachu, Let's Go Eevee, and this has a similar vibe to it, I think, because both right now have a terrestrialized version of their EXs. So I think that's kind of cool. And this also kind of confirms that we will have like some evolutions in this set. We kind of knew already, but this kind of confirms it. What gives us some more information even is the next picture. And that's the booster pack with Eevee in the center of the booster pack. Not only do we see Eevee, we also see a couple of other Pokemon, and the big one, of course, is the Umbreon, right on the left bottom corner here. So that kind of confirms that we will get an Umbreon EX, a terrestrialized version of Umbreon EX, and kind of also probably an SIR, I think. Same thing here with the Glaceon. Terrestrialized version is going to get an EX and probably an SIR. And because we see those two, we probably might assume there's going to be a Leafeon EX and an Espeon EX in this. Why is that? If you don't know, well, Umbreon and Espeon were introduced in the second generation, both together. And the Glaceon and Leafeon were both introduced in the fourth generation. So it's a given to me. Is it confirmed? No. Do I think they're going to be in this? Yes. What about Glaceon? Sorry, Glaceon. What about Sylveon? I'm not sure if that one is going to be in here, just because we already will have an terrestrialized EX version of Sylveon in Surging Sparks. That came in the Sylveon deck in Japan, together with the Cerulege EX deck in Japan. That does not mean it's not going to be in this. It's possible that they again will use another art on the Sylveon and use it in this set as well. We're about to find out in a couple of days, probably, either way. What about Jolteon, Vaporeon, and Flareon? No idea if they're going to be in this. Of course, we all hope, I think, all the evolutions are in this. But we're going to find out either way. On the other side of the pack, we see Terapagos and we see Tealmask Ogerpon. And you might think, like, wait, they already had their own set specialized on them, let's say, based on them. But that does not mean that they're not that it's not possible they're going to be in this set with their EX version, right? Koradan and Miradan have been in multiple ones. Same with the God of War. God of War even had 2 EX SIRs in different sets. So why couldn't it happen with this set? I think it's definitely possible. But that's most of what we know so far on the Terrestrial Festival set. What we also kind of know, I think it is a high-class set. It's going to be a high-class set in Japanese, in Japan. So that means like the half booster boxes, like we also had with Paldean Fates and Crown Zenith, for example, which were released in December. Terrestrial Festival is going to be released in December. So same release period as Paldean Fates and Crown Zenith. V-Star Universe, which was Crown Zenith in English, which released in January, same as Paldean Fates, and so will Prismatic Evolution, also in January, and I think the 17th of January, yeah. Now I saw PTCG Radio. I watch a lot of his videos because he has some interesting connections, some interesting information about new releases and such, the competitive game and such. And for some reason, and I don't know where he was coming from with this, but he was talking about how he assumed that this set would be focusing on shiny Pokemon. And I did not really understand where he was coming from with that. Because, I mean, true, the terrestrialized phenomenon is very bright and shiny, but I mean that does not mean there's going to be shiny Pokemon in this. Like, there's no hints at shiny Pokemon whatsoever in this, on the art on this booster pack, right? And like, not even that. If you think logically, why would they make another shiny set for Scarlet and Violet? If you think back, like Hidden Fates was the shiny set for Sun and Moon. Then you had Shining Fates for the Sword and Shield era, and Paldean Fates for the Scarlet and Violet era. Like, why would they make another shiny set for Scarlet and Violet like 1 year after? That does not make sense to me. So I highly doubt there's going to be a focus on shiny Pokemon in here. Are there going to be any in this? Maybe, I don't know, but I don't think it's going to be a shiny focused set. But that aside, so that is one part of Prismatic Evolution. The other part of Prismatic Evolution will consist of the EX starter deck generations. And in Japan, apparently, these are going to be like fixed decks, as far as I understand. But all these cards will be included in Prismatic Evolution, as far as I know. And this is very cool. This is very cool. First of all, there's a lot of EX Pokemon. There's 18 EX Pokemon, consisting of 2 Pokemon from each generation. In the first generation, we got Snorlax and Pikachu. And that's the only generation where they didn't use a legendary. And I mean, I can kind of get it. Like, Pikachu is the quote-unquote legendary here. It is the mascot of the series. It's not a legendary Pokemon by definition, but it is the mascot. So I understand why they use Pikachu over like Zapdos, Moltres, Articuno, Mew, Mewtwo, whatever. So that's fine by me. But the other generations do have at least one, do have exactly one legendary Pokemon featured in this. The second generation with Tyranitar and Lugia, that's a powerhouse. Same thing with the Kyogre and Blaziken, that's a super nice combo. Then the same thing with Lucario and Dialga, super nice. Then we have a Reshiram, which is super cool, but then Amoonguss, not the best choice in my opinion, but I mean, I kind of understand that they want to give some love to other less popular Pokemon. Maybe it's like some playable Pokemon, I don't know. Then we have Xerneas and Noivern, super cool combination. And then this one is very fitting too, I think. Tapu Koko and Mimikyu, two very iconic Pokemon from Alola. Then the 8th generation has Zacian and Alcremie, which is kinda okay. And then we have Koraidon and Clodsire, Paldean and Clodsire, which is that's one of my least favorite ones of the whole. One of my least favorite Pokemon of the Paldean region. But either way, it is a very cool concept, because no matter what generation you grew up with, there's going to be something for you. So I think this will be popular for everyone, these cards. And I think in Japan, I think there might not be as popular as they will be in English, just because it's a fixed deck probably, whilst you can pull these cards from packs. I think this is going to be huge in English. First of all, we have a lot of cards here with all the EXs from those Pokemon separately. So like Amoonguss, Blaziken, Kyogre, Tapu Koko, whatever. Like all of these EXs are in here. And some more information on them too. I'm not gonna go over everything on all these cards. It's just too much information. And it's going to be a pretty long video, guys, but I told you, like, there's a lot of cool stuff to talk about here. And this is a big one. Like, we see arts on all these different ones. But I think it's better visible in some of the other, in the first picture, I guess. But let's see here. Oh no, it's very clear here. Let's go over all these images. Look at this. So we have Pikachu and Snorlax, very cool, with like the Pokemon Center and the Pokemart right here, with the Pokemon Gym. I think this is in Viridian City, right? With the Giovanni's Gym. I think it's over there. Maybe I'm wrong, but I mean, looks like it. But that's a nice art. But then, look at this. Lugia and Tyranitar. How cool is that? We also see multiple Pokemon in here. That makes it so much cooler too. We have Houndour, we have Slowking, a couple of Marils right over here. And it's in, I forgot the name of the town, but with the tower where Lugia, where Ho-Oh is, usually, or where you can find him in the game. I mean, it's kind of strange that they would use Lugia there, but I think it's over there at least. But super cool art, in my opinion. Then we have Blaziken and Kyogre. Look at this, man. Oh my god. There's also a couple of other Pokemon here. I mean, how lovely is that? You have the Kecleon, you have the Wingull on top here, you have the Tropius, you have some Pelipper, Torchic, Combusken, looking at its evolution. Like, man, that's it. That is unbelievable. I don't know if there's any other Pokemon that I'm missing right now, but that is cool, with the volcano in the back, with the flames behind Blaziken's feet. That's probably my favorite out of all of these. Incredible. Then we have another super cool one, Dialga and Lucario, with some Bronzor right here on top of its mounts. What's the mountain called in this region? But it's the Temple of Sinnoh, right? Where you actually encounter Dialga in the games. So that is super cool too. Tell me, guys, if I'm missing something in the art, but man, it's so cool. Same thing here. Look at this, where you go to, what's the city called? I forgot it. Like the main city of Unova, right? And it's connected with the bridge that you walk over. We see the Reshiram flying here. Love that that you see the flames on the back here. The sun is just having some sun flares here, and like the Amoonguss right here. Love this, love this. Then we have the 6th generation with Noivern and Xerneas. Really cool art. Don't exactly know where we are. Oh, this is Lumio City right here. It's hard to tell, but if you zoom in, you can see Lumio City right over there. That is kind of nice. Also a couple of Pokemon. We see a couple of Eevee, the Dene right over here. We see some Fletchling, Fletchinders, even a Talonflame right now. Like, man, this is top art in my opinion. So cool. Same thing here. We have a Lola with Tapu Koko here, with his like the stones, a place where you encounter him, with Mimikyu right here, down here. But there's some psychic versions of Oricorio right here, and the volcano in the back on the other island. I forgot the name of the island, but man, that is just insane. And then we got the what is the main city called again from the Galar region? I don't remember. I haven't played the games, but I know where they are, kind of. So, and Alcremie, that's cool that it's hanging on the tail of Zacian there. Don't really see any other Pokemon in this art. From this angle, it's probably no other Pokemon in here. And then we got the Koraidon and Paldean Clodsire in this art from the main city of Paldea. And also here we see a couple of different Pokemon. We see the Paldean Wooper too, like looking at its at its evolution. Just thinking like, oh my god, am I turning into that? No. Then we got Lechonk right here, Cyclizer. Actually also looking maybe like to Koraidon, like, wait, do I have a legendary version? I don't know. And Squawkabillies, a couple of different colored Squawkabillies. That's kind of cool too. But yeah, so those are the 9 different arts on the generations. But guys, if you ask me, is this going to be better than 151 as a specialty set? Yes, I think so. Like, just looking at the arts on the EX Dex generations and the potential that the evolutions by themselves already have, I think this has potential to overtake 151. Some people also were wondering, like, is this going to be better than Evolving Skies? And that's a bit of a harder comparison to make, because this set will not have boosted boxes in English, and that's the only thing that will hold this set a little bit back maybe. But then again, like, look at what 151 is doing right now. It's crazy. It's crazy. So I actually think if they imagine they use all these arts in illustration rares or even special illustration rares. Could you imagine that? Could you imagine? That would be insane. I think all of these are just splendid. That is just absolutely gorgeous art. I cannot even, like, let's just wait and see what the evolutions will look like as well, because this might be a huge set. Like, I actually didn't pay attention to the numbers of the cards here, but let's actually look at the end here. 170. So there's 175 main cards apparently for this set alone. For this set alone. I don't know, like, and this is from the Japanese set. If that is the case, I cannot even. How big is the set going to be? In English, Prismatic Evolution, how big is that set going to be? Now that I mentioned that, I'm actually curious. I'm gonna go back to the Eevee card and see if we can see the number on the bottom of the card, to see how many cards are in there. Oh, it's really hard to tell though. I think 127 in total of the main set, but that is guys, I don't know about that. Like, if they would combine all these cards, like, that would be a set between 300 and 400 cards. I think they will not do that, right? If they do that, that is going to be nuts. Completely nuts. But yeah, guys, that was a huge update on it, and I hope that we see some more information on both releases soon. And I'm gonna try and update you guys on it as well. Let me know in the comment section down below what you think. Do you think that Prismatic Evolution is going to be better than 151? Do you think it's going to be better than Evolving Skies? I think as a set, it has potential to be better, actually. I think it has potential to be better. Why is it going to be better than 151 in my opinion? Because 151 has the power of Generation 1 on its side, so a lot of nostalgia, but it only has the power of 151, right? And I don't say that's in a negative thing. It is enough as a set. But because of these generation decks, Prismatic Evolution will have the power of all 9 generations behind it. All 9 generations. That combined with the evolutions, which also is across 1st, 2nd, 4th, and 6th generation. I mean, I think the potential here is unheard of. So I'm very excited about this. Let me know what you think, guys, in the comment section down below. If you liked it, don't forget to subscribe, like, and share the video. Also, don't forget to check out some of my openings on the channel. I really appreciate your support, guys. Thank you so much, and see you guys next time. Bye.